Hello, trainees. Welcome to another wonderful um, session of this training. I wish to apologize for not being available for the past two sessions that didn't hold because of because of my participation in the coverage of the thank you tour of the executive governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Yomem Alia. I am a member of Father Alia TV network, so I was on the media team for the thank you tour that ended on Sunday. Um, I'm sorry for not being available, but um, today I'll be looking into um, media psychology and philosophy. And then on Saturday, June 29th, will be our final session from 11 to 12, be our final session of this training. And on that day, it will be a kind of recap and also highlights of certain aspects of importance or most important. Every aspect is important, but there are some that are more important than others. So looking at that as this training draws to an end. Today, I will be talking about media psychology and philosophy. The ability to actually do certain things require the understanding. The psychology of media and the philosophy of media can only be understood after one might have understood the processes, the things involved in media, involved in media work. If you have followed the session keenly, you will see that um, I have taught a lot concerning journalism. Now, you cannot apply psychology when you don't know the tenets of psychology, when you don't know the attributes of psychology, when you don't know the factors that psychology can be hinged on to make significant impact. Media psychology, it is the use of media in understanding human behavior and also how human behavior can be interpreted through the media. Now, in understanding the behavior of people, one needs to understand what necessitated such behavior, what factors that caused such behavior. Is it occupational? Is it environmental? Or what? Now, the role of the media is to enhance effective service delivery by finding out why certain things happen the way they do. Because psychology plays significant role because it is the media that will have to understand what happens and how should this be portrayed. If you understand, we have talked about media law, media code of ethics, how to cover community reporting, rural reporting, conflict reporting, specialized reporting, and all the reportings, the types of reportings that we have we have done here. You need to understand to know them so that you will understand the psychology of this thing, and then you can now apply it using any media platform. For example, students have a way they react to situation. Now, if you are confronted with student um, onset, I mean, students crisis, students riot, students issues, what approach should it or should such issues be taken? What approach should be employed in tackling such issues? First, you need to understand the psychology of the people involved. What is the state of mind of this student? What led to their behavioral change or trend? Uh, how can such be managed or handled? And then you see how it can be portrayed. You see, the media has the power of painting black, white, and painting white, black. The media has the power to inform and misinform. Now, that is the reason certain uh, interests have affected reportage in various categories where media ownership influences the credibility, the objectivity, the fairness, the balance of news that is being broadcast, that is being written, that is being transmitted, that is being printed because of various interests. Now, even with the understanding of the psychology of the media, how media study environment, study situations through various apparatuses, through various tools, through various platforms, and portray that to the public, the understanding of it, because questions are being raised before any interview is done. Questions are being written. The the interviewer would understand the situation. You know, that comes in to media psychology because you are using the journalist is using the media to explore someone, to make discovery. Now, you form or formulate questions to ask the interviewee based on your understanding of the interviewee's intellectuality or being knowledgeable about the situation. An interview that will be granted to a construction engineer on the issue of construction will not be granted to a chef because the construction engineer understand or specializes in the area of construction. So professionally, such questions will be fit for that kind of person. You know, when interviewer wrongly asks questions, you know, interviewee will respond in some situations that such a question, the persons would tell you that they don't have the authority to answer that question, or they are not in the position to answer that question, or that question has been channeled wrongly, that they are not in the position to answer that, or authorized, or not in that position. Now, media experts, that is journalists, reporters, must understand the psychology of the people they intend to work with, they intend to interview, they intend to elicit responses from. Because by the time you see that, how can the media be used to portray their emotions, feelings? What is their state? What is their condition at the moment? You know, people's orientation differ. People's orientation varies with different circumstances that they are being engulfed in. So you cannot expect rational thinking across board. That is the reason the kind of reception you can receive in a particular place would not be the same reception you receive in another on the same issue, based on topographical situation, a geographical situation, orientation, culture, religion, beliefs, ideology. So it will give you different receptions. Some will be warm, and some will be hot, some will be cold. So you need to understand the people. What approach should be taken based on your understanding of the people? How can the media be used to communicate this understanding effectively? You need to study them and apply media psychology effectively in interpreting the behavior of people through the media, in understanding them and communicating their behavior effectively through the media, so that the people, the audience, will not be misinformed about any situation, about any tribe, about any religion, about any organization. Every organization has psychological situations. The issue of psychology applies in every aspect of life, including philosophy. Now, when you talk about media philosophy, what is philosophy? A principle, way of doing something, how something is being done, a belief. That is why someone would tell you, that is not my philosophy. My philosophy is to do this, to do that, or my philosophy is doing this and doing that. Now that's why people belong to different school of thought. Media philosophy is the use of media, that is the guidelines, guiding principle for effective media usage. That is media philosophy. And the philosophy of the media cannot be outside the broadcasting code. It must be within it, because if the broadcasting code has stated that defamatory statement, do it, You cannot in any way go outside it. You must maintain and operate within the confines of that media philosophy. You cannot go outside it. It must be within what is expected of the media. But ownership influence has affected media operation. So media philosophy is following a laid down principle. In an ideal situation, it has to be the philosophy that will lead to objectivity, will lead to fairness, will lead to credibility, will lead to balance. Now, when media philosophy is being influenced by ownership, it move away from an ideal philosophy to the owner's philosophy. Because the ideal philosophy is that reporting should be done in a credible way. Information dissemination should be credible. There should be fairness. Parties involved should be given equal opportunities for interview to speak, to express their grievances, to express their opinion. There should be balance in reportage. What is being said here, the other party too should be listened to, and there should be no taking side in reporting. It should be balanced based on what's there. It should be objective, objectivity. You shouldn't inject your opinion in the report. The media philosophy, the ideal media philosophy lays at the platform, the process for this to be achieved. But ownership influence alter or distort the process of ideal a media philosophy. You can have ownership media philosophy is a kind of parallel philosophy to the ideal philosophy, because when ownership philosophy plays a central role, you will understand that reportage will not be in a way that it should be. Let me use NTA television station for example, as an example. NTA television station is owned by the federal government. It's a federal government owned television station. And then let me use AIT, owned by late Raymond Topese, who was a PDP chieftain. I remember very well during, APC was formed in February 2013. Shortly after APC was formed under the administration of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, a lot of um, propaganda, a lot of hate speeches, defamatory statements and comments were flying left and right, aimed at discrediting APC. AIT played a critical role in um, discrediting APC, and some of the documentaries or jingles or future stories that would have promoted personalities in APC were not featured on AIT by Raymond Dopesi of blessed memory, and AIT, I mean NTA as well, were not actually giving APC the kind of publicity it required then. But the media philosophy, ideal media philosophy, states that there should be fairness. But AIT wasn't fair to APC, neither NTA was fair to APC. But a lot of PDP documentaries, publicities, announcements, jingles, and all the visuals required to promote PDP were being seen on NTA and AIT at a very a spontaneous and rapid rate from 2013 to 2015 when the elections, the general election was held. And it really made the stations to deviate from the established media philosophy, which is enshrined in the media code of ethics. Uh, the opportunity to be transmitted. But you see that it didn't work that way. The media so much that you see the difference in operation. You see, NTA will not want to report, will not want to report in-depth situations that will indict the president or the presidency or the federal government. That is the reason if you follow activities on NTA keenly, because I watch television stations, I watch news on television stations very well, I watch TV very well, and I follow the trend of news on these stations, NTA, AIT, Arise TV, Channels TV. And if you make a comparative analysis, then you will discover that ownership influence has not ceased to be playing roles in the way the news bulletin is being made. Because the way Arise TV is very critical of President Tinubu and the federal government policies, you won't see NTA being that critical because it is a government-owned station, and whoever will bring that up might be at risk of uh, losing his job, losing their job if certain things are being brought up or transmitted that would put the president or the federal government in bad light. So certain things will be avoided. So you see that the philosophy, the ideal philosophy of the media is not adhered to. So that is the reason you see that there have been a lot of television stations where what you cannot hear or what you cannot watch on a particular station because of ownership influence, can be watched on another. Because if there's anything that NTA doesn't report, you can see that on channels TV, Rise TV, or TVC. And then if there's anything TVC will not report, you can see it on channels. On channel, you can see it on Arise, and so on. So if the owners want certain reports not to appear on their stations or on screen or on their TV, they can't stop others from doing otherwise. So you can, that is why there are preferences in television viewership. So can make um, assessment and follow the type that is is giving you what you want. It's giving, is following, is balanced. If the presidency does anything that is to be commended, it is being commended. If the presidency does anything that should be criticized, is being criticized on their programs, and also morning show, morning programs, breakfast programs, and other political programs like Politics Today on channels, TV, and so on. Journalists hang out on TVC, where you see certain issues are being analyzed and being taken into consideration. So you see that TVC is owned by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there are certain things that when they are to be analyzed, they may not be deeply analyzed, fiercely analyzed, critically analyzed, that will put Tinubu in bad light. So you may just touch on the surface or just brief and then leave it. See, so it means that the media philosophy, ID media philosophy, is hardly adhered to by television stations because they fail to follow the way in which things are to be done appropriately, and that is one of the challenges faced in effective service delivery in the media, because no matter what, there must be interest to be protected. So it takes absolute dedication, it takes absolute professionalism for media organizations to follow the ID media philosophy. Once the philosophy is being followed, it can change a lot of things. It can bring perfection to the media. It can make people to have confidence in the media, and it can also give them that courage to push certain things forward. That's why there are certain things that some persons will tell you, well, AIT may not transmit that, or NTA may not transmit that. Why? It's because they have the perception or the belief that because of ownership influence, certain information that should be transmitted on these TV stations would not actually find their way through, because the gatekeepers who are subjected to the owners of the station would not want any of that to get to the audience. So you see them being as a kind of standing as a barrier for such information to be disseminated. So if you look at media psychology and media philosophy, they play critical roles in effectiveness of the media. If the psychology of the media is appropriately understood and applied, if the philosophy of the media is understood and appropriately applied, it will serve the audience in an appealing manner. It will make them have extreme confidence in the media. So that is certain reports when people read, they'll tell you, this one, this one is not. The media is not saying the truth. This one, the media is hiding something. This one, yes, this one is authentic. This one is real. I believe in the story. So it is based on how the audience have seen things happen and then reported otherwise, especially those in the know of an activity. Because there are certain things that will happen and there will be glaring evidence. And then once it gets to the media, the report is being distorted. What comes out is different from the reality on ground. So it kills the confidence of people in the media. Some persons they will tell you they have lost hope in the media that is supposed to be there for the voiceless. That when it comes to certain issues, the media is silent when it comes to. But because of the various platforms and the various owners that are are there, whatever is not portrayed or transmitted on a particular station would definitely be seen on the other, except issues that are of national security, issues that post national security risks, because there are certain issues that they have implications that if they are transmitted, it can put the country under threat. Could be cyber threat, it could be a security threat, it could be financial threat or economic threat. So certain reports might not actually find their way to the audience through the media because of the sensitivity of that in line with national interest. In such situations, it is being understood, but where issues of importance, issues that have no such bearings are being concealed because of the fact that the people involved are related to the owners or from the owner's place, or they share the same ideology or philosophy, or they have certain things common, and then certain information being concealed. In that situation, it means that there is a deviation from the ideal way of doing things media wise. So it will actually affect effective service delivery. And it is important to note that uh, if you don't do your research, because everything here is about understanding. How will you understand something when you don't know it? It is by knowing that you understand. You cannot understand what you don't know. It is when you know something that you understand what you have known. And for you to understand anything, you need to actually carry out your research work effectively to understand, to know and understand what is required to be known, the subject matter. That is how it is being done. Whatever that is expected to be done, you can apply media psychology, you can apply media philosophy. Once these two are combined in your work, you will be efficient in what you will do. You will be more professional in what you will do, and the desired impact will surely be made once you are able to effectively apply these, so that you will be able to make significant impact on the audience that you are expected to actually um, touch. Because whatever you do as a journalist, being a journalist is taxing, because you are not processing information for yourself. You are not going to report, you're not doing research to keep to yourself. You are doing research, you're processing the research, you're doing your coverages, you're doing your news writing, you are doing your production, and then you are doing all these things not to be kept to yourself, but you're doing them to get to the audience. The audience need to know what is happening. It is your responsibility to to uphold the objectives of the media, to inform, to educate, and to entertain. So you need to understand these things so that you'll be made able to make the necessary impact, because the media is expected to transform society, is expected to make significant impact, is expected to give direction, to align ideas. So the media is supposed to be supposed to be pillar of hope, just like I have stated in some of the sessions that we had, that the media is a bridge. The public crosses to the other side. The government crosses to this side, and the communication is being interchanged, is being understood. There is communication that goes on in that aspect. So there is a kind of interaction when the public wants to send information to the government. The media is used. When the government wants information to get to the public, the media is used. That is the reason we have a lot of press conferences. What's the essence of press conferences? Is to pass information. If anyone wants to send information, needs information, the press is being invited. And then we have press releases. You know, press releases are sent to media houses to be transmitted, which is being written in news format. Maybe the PRO of police can send a press release, and then a particular organization can send a press release. The presidency can send a press release, which from the press department of the president's to media organization, which can be rewritten in a news format. So the press release will be written in a news format, which can be transmitted either on radio, TV, or can be rewritten in a news format that can be published in the newspaper. So that is how the role the media play. And it is by understanding media psychology and philosophy that we be guiding a path to effectiveness, that we be guiding path to effectiveness. Just like I have said, the reason media psychology and philosophy doesn't make the desired impact or doesn't significantly make that impact is because of the fact that ownership influence affect that. Because I said that earlier, that ownership influence has been the barrier to certain things. Because if the owner of the TV station says that no information on a particular personality should be transmitted on the station, the editor will have no choice than to respect that opinion, except the person voluntarily resigns or the person doesn't want to continue there. And then you can now transmit that, and then you'll be issued a sack letter for disobeying the owner. So it goes like that. And that is the reason reporters that don't want to actually compromise or go against certain things, you see them just leaving the job, just resigning when they have to go against certain things, to write something that is not true, you know, to write something against someone that is not true, and to be involved in certain media war. So they will tell you they can't be part of that. So you see that media psychology and media philosophy must be upheld for the effectiveness of the media to be felt and the appropriate impact to be made on the audience. Uh, at this point, I would want to say a few things. You see, the this is today is Thursday. Thursday. On Saturday will be the last day of this session. So the training as it has gone, you need to understand that you have to, because you have to put everything that you have learned together. The way Nigeria is, the way things are going, entrepreneurship is what people are surviving on. Being a journalist, even if you are not, you didn't attend media school, you didn't attend any media institution, this training alone is enough to make you write, make you produce news, make you write news, make you transmit news, to make you be a good broadcaster, to make you be a good speaker, a good writer, and a good camera operator. You see, like I have said before, journalism is a practical profession. It is not a profession that you only know the theoretical aspect of it. If you like, write exam in journalism and pass theoretically, but if you lack the practical experience in journalism, then it's as good as you know nothing. Because news writing is practical. You're going to write news. Your use of English in news writing will determine your experience or your knowledge about the profession. The way you handle your camera to cover news will also show your level of professionalism. How do you take your shots? How do you do your camera movement? How do you do your zoom in and zoom out, dolly in, dolly out? How do you tilt your camera? How do you focus? How do you set your lenses? How do you get your close up, extreme close up, wide and one, all that? These are practical things that are being considered. It's not just you knowing that this is how this is close up shot. This is no, it's not by identifying the types of shots or identifying the type of report or type of interview. No, it is being able to do them that matters, not by knowing that this is that. Can you do it? Can you make it happen? And once you're able to do that, then you will be able to make um, to make earnings, to make money. You'll be able to cover events. You'll be able to do a lot of things and make your money. People need media. People need publicity. People need to cover event. Now, let me tell you something. If you have your camera, you have your tripod, you have your mic, either a micro mic, the small one, or you have a boom mic, but a small size. You have your light that you can attach to the tripod for brightness where there is no brightness. You can be able to make your money. There are a lot of events that happen around. You know, where you are, there are people who are doing, there are a lot of wedding activities, birthday, and a lot. You can approach anybody you know that is organizing any event and introduce yourself that you are a freelancer. That is, if you are on your own. If you are with Three Piece Media, you can have your ID, as the case may be. If you are on your own, you can stand as a freelancer. You know, you can be a freelancer. You can be operating independently. So you'll be able to use that to make your money. You know, I started as a freelancer before I got engaged in various works. Started as a freelancer. I was, because of the knowledge I had, I was using that to cover events. Once I get to the church and hear announcement of any wedding that is coming up, I'll try and get to the couple and tell them, see, I can do a live stream. Can live stream your wedding, and this is what I charge. This is what you can pay, and then we'll go back again and then arrive at any figure, and I will collect that. Give me part of it. Once I do the live stream, I collect the other part, get my data set, my camera, my battery fully charged, have my power bank, my light, and everything. My camera, good lenses. So you need to have cameras with good lens. Camera will have good lens. I will use that, do the live stream. I will stream the wedding live, go to the reception and stream live. At the end of the wedding or event, I will copy the link and forward to the couples or the celebrant so they can now share the link to those who missed. And one thing about live streaming is that whatever you stream live will always remain there, except if you set it on delete after 30 days or delete after there's options for you to set it. If you want it to be on social media for a particular time and automatically delete, you can do the setting. So you can do that and then send the link. So once the person sees that, know that that one is there, anytime the link can be copied and forwarded to those who missed the event, because it will be easier like that than the videography that is being done separately, because that one has to be edited through a long process and then saved in a disk and forwarded. Then some may have soft a copy saved in a flash and then being given to the person. But the live streaming gives viewer a first-hand view of what is going on there. So they're able to see. So those who miss the celebrants or the couples can inform them that okay, if you are somewhere and you cannot attend my wedding, you can follow that on. So you can now give the person your handle. Is it what name are you using on social media? So that the couple can now forward the name to their relative friends or people who are abroad or elsewhere engaged that couldn't come, so that the live streaming would they can view or watch the wedding as it's going. So once you explain this to them, they'll understand and see, oh, it's a very wonderful idea, and then you make your money. Even if you're giving 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, you get your data. You do if every Saturday you're making 10, 20,000 for coverages. It's something that you can use and push on to when you have something else, or even if you have a job, a pensionable job, or whatever job, you can still be doing that and be getting your money. And if you don't have any job at all, whatever you can get, you can still be making good use of it. If every Saturday you're making 10, 20,000 from coverages, by the time the month ends, you'll be making up to 80, 90,000, which is more than appealing that you take everything that has been done very seriously. You're supposed to be practicing these things. You're supposed to be doing them. You're supposed to be, like I said, you do a lot of activities and try to see how you can improve on that so that you will be equipped. You will be equipped. You'll be able to put up something that we will not just bring you income, but would make you to be prepared for all the challenges ahead. So the paramount thing is being prepared. Is being prepared. It's being prepared for the challenges ahead because things are evolving. The media is evolving, things are evolving. So you definitely need to be prepared for anything that would come your way anytime, any day. So you see that media psychology and philosophy is applied in every phase of the media. So once you do that, you will be able to make significant impact. So today, tonight, we have um, treated media psychology and philosophy, talk about its importance in effective media service delivery. On Saturday, June 29th, will be our final session to actually officially end this training. So after the training, then you can hear from the management of Three Piece Media, whatever they have to tell you. You have to still be active in the group, the WhatsApp group, and then your mails, you have to also be checking because whatever information the management has for you will be sent to the WhatsApp group or to your respective emails or email addresses. So you should be active, be punctual, you should be active rather, and always check your WhatsApp for any message, and then you check your emails or messages that might come in. So be prepared for Saturday final session, which will be from 11 to 12. And then once we are done with that, you'll be hearing more, whatever that will be required from the management of Trippies Media. My role in the training will end on Saturday, June 29th. So anything from that will be communicated to you by the management of Trippies Media. Thank you very much for paying attention to this session. And I believe that by the time the session ends on Saturday, you might have been equipped with the necessary information and practical experience required of you to be a professional in the field of journalism. Thank you very much and have sound night rest. Bye.